So recently, I got off the phone with somebody, that person I have never met before, but it was such an amazing conversation. So, what topic we talked about and connected with most is leadership, because we both understand each other, the stories, the experiences we've been through. We had that connection and that similarity. And I told him, leaders do things, we do many, many things as leaders, and sometimes it's a thankless job being a leader. So we do so much more. We put a lot of effort in, and people don't really recognize or notice or comment. Sometimes they don't give you any praise. So some recognize it, and that's great, but most of the time it doesn't. And you just have to keep going because within you, it just feels right. So the football season's coming up, already started, college, the pros are soon going to start, the NFL. And most of the time people look at the leaders of the football team. Most of the time it's the quarterback, typically. The quarterback puts in a lot of time and hours every night studying the game plans, the films, in the room of other teams, hours and hours invested compared to other players sometimes. On game day, everything goes, and the quarterback may not meet the expectations of the fans, and the team overall loses. All the fans boo and says how lousy and insults and put that quarterback down. But you know what? As a leader, he puts in so many hours behind closed doors, and he tried to put his best performance, but sometimes it doesn't really get to that level. So leaders people don't realize that leaders how much we really do, and we don't really get appreciated or that recognition. But with quarterbacks, they're not the only leaders of the football team. If you think about it, really everybody on that team is considered a leader. They all have huge responsibilities, and they have to unite and work together to succeed. So you're watching my video now and you're taking in some information, and maybe you consider yourself a leader, and maybe you are a second grade teacher and all the students look up to you as a leader. That's awesome. You have the parent-teacher conferences though, and there's one parents that kind of give you a hard time. It's not easy because you you invest so much of yourself into that child, and you're not being appreciated. So you know what? That's a leader, and leaders really have the tough role of doing a lot behind the scenes, and sometimes they don't enjoy it. And if they're recognized for it, that's great. That's wonderful. But they're not always. And why are you, Stacey, and myself doing all of this hard extra work? It's because we feel it's right. It's a major contribution to our society and to our world. So you can be a leader in your whatever job position you hold, it's related to school, organizations, groups. I believe that everyone is a leader, including you, whatever it is that you do every day. So I want to say that keep it up, keep going. And even though people may not recognize it or notice your hard work or think you're not doing enough, just continue to go and thrive, and it will pay off. It will. And you know why? Because your legacy. Every big or small thing you do, people will remember and comment much later. So you need to think long term, much further into the future, and don't look for current, right now, instantaneous recognition. Because it may be 4 years later or way later, but you know what? All in all, it's all worth it, and we're so excited that as a leader, we are connecting with you, leaders. And even though, we have different kinds of jobs, different things that we do, it's so great, and I cannot wait to hear from you soon and get to chat with you one-on-one and discuss more in depth about leadership topics, which both of us value. So you take care and see you next time.